I regained consciousness staring at a sky that was never meant for humans. A swirling violet sun burned high above me, casting the circular arena in a deep red haze. Tens of thousands of alien spectators roared from the stands, their voices layered and echoing like metallic thunder. My ribs ached. My arm trembled, and dust coated my face from the impact that had knocked me out. I had been hit only once. Across the arena, the giant alien warrior waited, motionless, glaring, evaluating. Nearly 3 meters tall, armored in angular bone plating, horns protruding from her jawline and forehead. The crowd didn't need translators to understand her message. Stay down. You do not belong here. I tried to move. Pain crackled from my back down to my legs. It would be easy, so easy, to remain on the ground and pretend defeat. I was only human. My opponent, General Revora of the Kakuan Dominion, was a living war machine who had broken warships and crushed cyborgs with her bare hands. I touched the dusty ground beneath me. It vibrated not with movement, but with expectation. The crowd waited for my surrender. Even Revora waited. She didn't step forward to finish me. She wanted me to stay down. This entire duel was never meant to be fair or even symbolic. It was meant to send a message. Humans are weak. Humans kneel. Humans bow. I groaned, rolled to one knee, and spat blood into the dirt. The stadium fell completely silent. Revora's voice echoed through the arena, amplified by translators. Human, you are beaten. Why do you rise? Not how. Not can. She asked why, baffled that I would even try. I forced myself upright, legs trembling. The pain was nothing compared to the thought of what surrender would mean, not just for me, but for every human being watching through the galactic broadcast. I answered with a hoarse voice, because I'm not finished. Her eyes narrowed. The audience gasped, some in shock, others in rage. Revora tilted her head. You cannot win. You know this. Maybe, I replied, but giving up isn't winning either. For the first time, the alien general looked unsure. Then the drums thundered again, signaling the fight would resume. She charged. The ground cracked beneath her as she closed the distance. I barely had time to dodge, rolling to my side, grabbing a shard of broken metal from the earlier impact. Not a weapon meant to win, but something to survive. Revora's fist struck the ground where my head had been. Stone detonated outward. I slashed upward. The metal shard screeched against her armor, sparks flying, but barely scratched her. Her backhand sent me flying. I crashed against the arena wall and nearly blacked out again. The announcer prepared to declare her victory. But I stood. My legs shook violently. Pain blurred my vision. I could feel blood dripping down my chin, chest, and arms. Revora stared at me like she'd seen a ghost. Human, she growled. What are you trying to prove? Nothing to you, I wheezed. To myself. The silence of the stadium felt like a vacuum. Her expression shifted into something much darker, much more intense. Then prove it. She rushed again. But this time, she didn't anticipate my choice. I didn't dodge. I charged too. My shoulder collided with the center of her chest plate. Pain exploded instantly, but momentum and surprise toppled her backwards. The crowd screamed at the sight of the unstoppable warrior falling. I had seconds, maybe less. I slammed the shard into the joint under her collarbone, her soft spot, the only place her armor didn't fully cover. She roared, backhanding me again, but this time she bled. A single line of deep purple that trickled down her chest. The impossible had happened. Revora didn't recover immediately. She sat still, staring at the wound, then staring at me. The crowd didn't know whether to cheer or riot. I dropped the bloodied shard. I couldn't lift my arms anymore. I'm done, I gasped. I can't win, and we both know it. But if you want me to stay down, you'll have to make me. She stood slowly, one step, then another looming over me. The audience waited for the killing blow. Instead, she knelt. The generals in the stands shouted in fury. Warriors protested. Leaders screamed. The empire convulsed in disbelief. Only Revora was calm. Human, you have shown me something I did not know existed. Her voice was no longer amplified through speakers. No theatrics, just words. Strength without power, courage without victory, pride without arrogance. You stand for no reward. She lowered her head until her horns nearly touched the ground. Kakuan tradition demands that I kneel to the one who teaches me. A wave of shock rippled through the arena. Cameras zoomed in on both of us. No one had ever seen Revora kneel, not even to her own empress. I struggled to stay standing. I didn't do this to humiliate you. You did not, she replied. You honored me. You gave me a battle worth remembering. She rose, towering above me once more. I cannot kill you now. To do so would dishonor my house and myself. She turned to the stadium and bellowed. This human is not weak. They do not kneel. They do not break. Their will is a weapon greater than ours. The stadium shook, this time not with anger, but with awe. My vision blurred, everything muffled. I could feel consciousness slipping away again. Before I fell, Revora caught me, not as a defeated enemy, but as a warrior supporting another. Heal, human. We will fight again, not as conqueror and prey, but as rivals. Aftermath. I woke several days later aboard a medical frigate surrounded by humans. The Galactic Council had overturned the Dominion's challenge. The duel had become a symbol throughout the galaxy, not of human surrender, but of human resilience. Revora sent me a message. A single sentence. Next time, do not hold back. I smiled, despite still recovering from injuries that would take weeks to heal. The universe was vast, hostile, dangerous. But somewhere out there was an alien warrior who now respected humanity, not because we were strong, but because we refused to stay down.